how to enter some basic comments into RStudio. Now, as we said in one of the earlier videos, one of the things you can do is you can enter commands directly in the console. So, for example, if you want to see a certain data set, for example, the empty cars we were using in an earlier video, what you can do is you can simply type print empty cars and the data set will be printed like this. Now, entering commands in a console is quite cumbersome, and it's not what is usually done. That's why we are usually using either scripts or markdowns. And let's see how to use a markdown. So first we need to start a new markdown. So in RStudio we would go File, New File, RMarkdown. And we will start the markdown as an HTML. You can actually start formatting it also in some other formats, PDF or Word. However, once you're exporting the markdown, you can export it in any format that you want. So I would suggest that you use HTML. And we can use any name. We can call it a demo. Okay. And as you can see, this opens a new document up here. This starts with a title, so it has a title we have given it earlier. We don't have to use this one. We can use some other title if we want to, or we can be happy with this, but we can change this at any point. So don't worry, even if you change your mind once you started it, you can change it at any point. Now, you might see that there are two colors of code here. You have a gray code, so this is actually the R code, whereas the white one, this is the comments. They will appear in the final document, but they won't be executed as commands. So this first one is just about the setup, so don't worry about this one. The knitr is actually a functionality, it's a package. So you will find it here under packages. You would find it under the package. knitr. It's says here it's a general purpose package for dynamic report generation. So this was installed when you first tried to do an RMarkdown, which might have been in this session or in some of the earlier sessions. Now markdowns, so this is comments like this. So if you want something as a comment, you actually do this with a hashtag, and the more hashtags you will have, the smaller the comment will be. So basically, let's just delete this. So with one hashtag you would have a big comment, and if I have two hashtags, I would have a small comment, and with 3 hashtags I would have a really small comment. And you'll see this later on once we do the knitting. Now in the gray areas, or starting with this triple quote mark, you have the R code. You can start a new R code with insert. So the insert goes here, and you can insert a new R code. And for example, in this R code, you could do this. For example, you can print empty cars like this. You can execute this code there are a couple of ways on how you execute it. So you have a run option up here. So you can say like run and just run selected line, and it will execute this code. As you can see, it's been executed twice. It's been executed here in the piece of code, so in the markup, and it's also executed here in the terminal. So you can see it appears twice. Maybe we'll just stick to empty cars, not cars. Cars is another data set, similar. Summary, it's another command that will actually run descriptive statistics of the data. Another way of running it is you can just go with Control Enter or Command Enter, depending on your computer system, and this will display the descriptive statistics. So basically what you get is you get a 5-number summary. Now the attentive ones will notice that there is 6 numbers here. So the 5-number summary would be minimum, maximum, first and third quartile, and the median. And for numerical variables, it will display the mean as well. This is the basic functionality for descriptive statistics. Now, as you've noticed, we started entering some commands, and you probably have no idea of what these commands are. Don't worry, all the commands that you will need for this course will be given in this demonstrations, and there won't be that many. And in any case, you don't have to learn anything really by heart. So whatever you want to do, there's always extensive help, and you can always Google it for all the commands. So basically you just go on Google and how to do something in R, and there will be help there. Anyways, if you want to know how to use certain commands, so the actual syntaxes, there's always help available. There's a couple of ways on how to get help. So the basic help would be if you just go down here in the console, and for example start with a question mark, and you wonder about summary, and question mark summary will open the help for the summary. An even quicker way to do that, if you just have a command like this here, and you want to have the help for it, you just go Control F1, just press F1 on the command, and it will display the help for it. Of course it says here summary, and then in the wiggled brackets it tells you in which of the packages the command is. Now for the starters, we'll just use commands from the base package. So this is the package that's always loaded with every distribution of R. So this is the base functionality of R, and a lot of functions that we are actually going to use come from the base package. Only later on, when you need some special functionalities, we'll need to expand this and use commands from other packages as well. So basically the print will show you all the data matrix, the data object. Summary will give you descriptive statistics, and as you can see down here, you can also include some plots. For example, pressure here. Maybe we would be interested in first what pressure is. Pressure. So if we just want to display the object, we can do it like this. Control Enter. You see pressure actually includes 2 variables, pressure and temperature. And then if you want to plot this, Control Enter again, it will try and display the most appropriate graph given the data. So in this case, we had these two numerical variables. So it assumed that what we wanted to have here is a scatter plot of the two variables. It's the most logical graph given the data, so that's what it displayed. Now plot has other options as well. If you wonder what kind of options are available, you can always put yourself in plot, click F1, and you can see here the options for plot. Now most of the plotting of graphs in R or RStudio nowadays is done with some other packages, and we'll maybe discuss this these packages will be discussed in some of the later videos. If you want to save this as a new document, what you can do is you can render this. So one of the ways of doing this is using the knitter. So if you click here, you get this option and you save it and just call it demo1. We'll save it somewhere, and it will look a little bit like this. So summary, it displays a summary, then the document is printed. You see here, have the title, the big comment, small comment, really small comment, and the more hashtags we would be using, the more comment, and the smaller the comment would be. Have the command and execution of the command like this. So this is the document that we created. So this is some basic functionalities of our commands as done in RStudio and specifically in RMarkdown. Thank you for your attention.